Hey there, fellow humans. Ever feel like you're bumping around in a giant cosmic amusement park? You know, like life is just one big, chaotic ride where we're all trying to navigate our way through the twists and turns. Well, guess what? You're not far off. The universe is a lot like that, full of surprises and unexpected collisions. Picture this, we're all like bumper cars, zipping around on the fabric of reality. Each of us is on our own little journey, sometimes bumping into each other, sometimes cruising smoothly. But here's the kicker. We've got these invisible antennae, see? They're not just for show. They're constantly picking up and sending out signals. They're hooked up to a cosmic grid, picking up signals, transmitting information, and making the whole crazy ride possible. Imagine a vast, interconnected web where every thought and action sends ripples through the cosmos.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Bill, are you saying we're just fancy radio-controlled cars? Are we really just moving around based on some unseen force? Not exactly. We're way cooler than that. We're not just passive players in this game. We have a lot more control and influence than you might think. We've got this thing called consciousness, which is like having a supercharged onboard computer. It's what allows us to interpret the signals we receive and make decisions based on them. It takes all those signals from our antennae and turns them into, well, reality as we know it. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all processed and understood through this incredible system.
But hold on to your hats, folks, because it's about to get even wilder. The ride isn't just about receiving signals, it's also about what we send out. We're not just receiving signals, we're also transmitting them. Every thought, every emotion, every action we take sends out waves into the universe. Every thought, every emotion, every awkward dance move sends ripples out into the cosmos. It's like we're all broadcasting our own unique frequency, contributing to the symphony of the universe. Yeah, you heard me, right? The universe is tuned into your frequency, so next time you feel like you're just bumping around aimlessly, remember that you're part of something much bigger. Your actions and thoughts matter, and they have the power to influence the world around you. So go ahead, embrace the chaos, enjoy the ride, and keep sending out those positive vibes. Who knows what kind of amazing connections you'll make along the way? The cosmos is listening and it's ready to respond. Let's make this cosmic amusement park the best ride ever together. After all, we're all in this bumper car adventure together, and every bump, twist and turn is a chance to learn and grow. So buckle up, hold on tight, and let's see where this wild ride takes us.
Okay, so let's talk about these antennae. In reality, they're not these big, goofy things sticking out of our heads. Although, that would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? They're actually our nerves. Yup, that intricate network of wires running through our bodies is what keeps us connected to the universe.
And here's where it gets really electrifying. Our brains are like little power stations generating their own electromagnetic fields. These fields are constantly buzzing with activity, sending and receiving signals from our nerves. It's like a giant game of electric tag going on inside our heads.
Now, imagine this. Every time you learn something new, have a great idea, or even just stub your toe, those electrical impulses fire off in a unique pattern. It's like your brain is composing its own symphony of consciousness. And the coolest part? No two symphonies are exactly alike. Each brain is its own unique orchestra, playing its own unique tune.
Remember those bumper cars I mentioned earlier? Well, they need a surface to ride on, right? For us, that surface is the Earth's magnetic field. It's like a giant, invisible track that keeps us grounded and guides our movements. Think about it. When you walk, you're not just pushing yourself forward with your legs. You're also interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. It's like you're surfing on invisible waves of energy.
And just like surfing, it takes a bit of practice to get the hang of it. That's why babies wobble around so much when they're first learning to walk. They're still getting used to riding the magnetic waves.
But here's the funny part. Even though we're constantly moving and grooving with the Earth's magnetic field, we experience ourselves as being stationary. It's like we're on a giant, spinning amusement park ride, but we're so caught up in the fun of it all that we don't even notice the motion. Section 4, the illusion of stillness. This concept is fascinating and often overlooked in our daily lives. It challenges our perception and makes us question what we see and feel. Have you ever been sitting on a train, looking out the window at another train, and for a second you weren't sure which train was moving? It's a common experience that many of us have had, and it perfectly illustrates the illusion of stillness.
That, my friends, is the illusion of stillness in action. It's a moment where our senses and our brain's interpretation of those senses don't quite match up. This phenomenon can be both intriguing and disorienting. Our brains are constantly trying to make sense of the world around us, and sometimes they take shortcuts. These shortcuts are usually helpful, but they can also lead to fascinating illusions and misconceptions.
One of those shortcuts is assuming that we're the center of the universe. This isn't about ego, it's about how our brains process information. We use ourselves as a reference point for everything else. Now, I don't mean that in an egotistical way. It's just a simple fact of perception. Our brains are wired to use our own bodies as the primary frame of reference. It's just a simple fact of perception. This is why we often feel like we're the ones standing still while everything else moves around us.
Our brains use our bodies as a reference point for everything else. This is why, when we're sitting still and see something else moving, our brains automatically assume that we're the ones who are stationary. So if we're sitting still and we see something else moving, our brains automatically assume that we're the ones who are stationary. This can lead to some interesting and sometimes confusing experiences.
It's like that feeling you get when you're on a merry-go-round and you close your eyes. You know you're spinning, but without that visual input, your brain starts to get confused. The sensation can be both thrilling and disorienting. You know you're spinning, but without that visual input, your brain starts to get confused. It's a perfect example of how our senses and our brain's interpretation of those senses can sometimes be at odds.
It's like, hold on a second, am I moving or is the entire world spinning around me? This question highlights the fascinating way our brains process motion and stillness. And let's be honest, sometimes it's more fun to just go with it and pretend that the world really is revolving around us. Embracing these moments can add a sense of wonder and playfulness to our lives. The illusion of stillness isn't just limited to physical movement. It can also be found in art and visual experiences. When we look at certain paintings or optical illusions, our brains can be tricked into seeing movement where there is none. These experiences remind us that our perception of reality is not always accurate. Our brains are powerful, but they can be easily fooled by clever designs and visual tricks. Understanding the illusion of stillness can give us deeper insights into how our brains work. It can help us appreciate the complexity of our sensory experiences and the incredible ways our brains interpret the world around us. So next time you find yourself questioning whether you're moving or the world is, take a moment to appreciate the wonder of your brain's perception. Embrace the illusion of stillness and let it remind you of the fascinating complexity of the human mind. The illusion of stillness is a beautiful reminder that our perception of reality is both subjective and dynamic. It encourages us to stay curious and open-minded, always ready to explore the mysteries of our own minds. In the grand scheme of things, the illusion of stillness is just one of many ways our brains interpret the world. It's a small but significant part of the larger puzzle of human perception and consciousness. So, as we conclude this chapter, remember to cherish these moments of wonder and curiosity. They are what make the journey of understanding our minds so incredibly rewarding.
Section 5, at the center of your own amusement park. So, what's the point of all this bumper car, cosmic antenna, amusement park ride talk? Why are we diving into these whimsical metaphors and colorful imagery?
Well, it's simple. You are the center of your own universe. I know, it sounds cheesy. But think about it. Your reality is created by your unique perspective, your experiences, your thoughts, and your feelings. Every moment, every decision, every emotion you experience shapes the world around you in a way that is uniquely yours.
No one else experiences the world exactly the way you do, and that's pretty amazing. Imagine the vast array of perspectives and realities that exist, each one as unique as a fingerprint. Your journey through life is like a grand adventure filled with sights, sounds, and sensations that only you can fully appreciate.
It's like each of us has been given our own custom-designed amusement park to explore. We get to choose which rides to go on, which snacks to eat, and who we want to share the experience with. Every choice you make, every path you take, adds to the richness of your personal amusement park. You have the power to create joy, excitement, and wonder in your life.
Sure, there might be some bumps along the way, literally, if you're not careful on those bumper cars. That's all part of the fun. These bumps and challenges are what make the ride interesting. They teach us resilience, patience, and the ability to find humor in unexpected places. Embrace these moments, for they are the twists and turns that make your journey uniquely yours.
So, the next time you're feeling lost in the crowd, or like you're just going through the motions, remember this. You are the conductor of your own symphony, the captain of your own ship, the ringmaster of your own cosmic circus. You have the power to steer your life in any direction you choose. You can create harmony, navigate through storms, and orchestrate a life filled with wonder and excitement.
Embrace the ride, my friends, and never stop exploring the wonders of your own unique reality. Life is an ever-evolving adventure, and you are at the heart of it. So take a deep breath, open your eyes to the beauty around you, and dive into the endless possibilities that await. Your amusement park is vast and full of surprises. Enjoy every moment and make it a ride worth remembering.